7:13 a.m. Eastern Time, 8:13 a.m. Oakland time, and it's halftime of the NFL in London game, pitting the Minnesota Vikings versus the quote home unquote Cleveland Browns home in in London. The Browns are ahead 10-7, and this is the first time they've been ahead at half at the half since week 12. Now, week 12 was the now famous snow game, pitting the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers and the home Cleveland Browns for Thursday night football on Amazon Prime. Remember, the Browns won that game 24-14, if memory serves, and Jameis Winston was the star and really emerged as a national popular hero. That was the last time the Browns were ahead at the half. And of course, it brings up the obvious question, well, gee, how come the Browns didn't keep Jameis Winston? Still a question, a good question to ask and a good something to talk about. But let's talk about this game. Why are the Browns ahead? What are the components of this lead? You really have to start, frankly speaking, with two things. First of all, the Browns' ball control passing offense installed for Dillion Gabriel. And second, the Browns' defense. The Browns' defense has held the Vikings' best rusher to just 21 yards. And in total, the Vikings have 168 yards total offense versus 165 for the Browns. I'll get to that in a second. but but one turnover is the difference. And so the turnover by the Vikings. Dylan Gabriel is 13 of 21 for 102 yards, but there's a little asterisk which I'm interested to see how this plays out because Gabriel's completions were on short passes and short gadget passes. Nothing wrong with it. I quite favor it. However, something I've noticed is that Gabriel has a problem throwing downfield effectively. He's either late on throws like the pass over to David Njoku that was behind him and nearly intercepted in the first half, or the pass that Njoku caught in the right corner on the way to Brown's touchdown. That didn't get it, but put him close. That was overthrown and would have went out of bounds were it not for the fact that um, Njoku jumped to catch it. And then there was, of course, there was the pass to Jerry Judy off of the shake route that was also high. So Dylan Gabriel has a problem throwing downfield accurately and crisply and consistently. And that problem has been masked by the large number of neat and timely calls of short passes and screen passes by the Browns offense. So that has been the difference. So that, and when you have the Browns defense, which I understand is number one in the NFL, playing as well as it has played, and that's continuing to this point in the first half, that's really the difference. They injured Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz went out to get looked at. Now he's back in starting, and it's a 3rd and 7 for the Vikings. Let's see what they do with this. I can't show it to you, of course, but I'm going to describe it to you because here come the Vikings in a shotgun formation and with one back in the backfield, and now they have basically, yeah, and that's it. Carson looks left, throws left, and he threw it incompletion. However, pass interference. So that's going to be a first down for the Vikings. Um, I'm really impressed with the Browns defense, and I believe Mason Graham, the first round pick from Michigan, a defensive tackles, are really making a big difference. Even though he hasn't had a sack, he has contributed to a great pressure up front, along with the Browns' star at defensive end, of course, Miles Garrett, and the other front four. They're really effective and uh, had been quite impressive at getting to Wentz. Now, Wentz is back, though he's on a play action, but he's got time this time. He's throwing downfield and makes a completion, a jumping one, to Justin Jefferson. So the Vikings are on the move, and clearly they've decided that what they're going to do is call play action toward Miles Garrett's side to slow him up, and and then make the completion, which is really a good idea, you know. In fact, or just call play action in general to freeze that rush because it was eating them alive, uh, or threatening to eat them alive in the first half of this contest. So now they find themselves on the Browns 35, back to throw. Wentz goes and makes the completion at the 20, or runs to the 20, Mr. Addison does. So they're moving into what is now the red zone smartly, uh, having done their homework. They have decided, again, another fake play action, quick throw off a hook pattern. So they're going down quick, bing, bing, bing. They're not wasting time trying to establish the run on this drive. They've decided that they will use the run as a ploy to gain more time to throw. And that's what's going on. So now they're first and 10 on the 20 of the Browns, the Vikings are, with a empty set, with Carson going on two back, throwing right, looks right, and overthrows Justin Jefferson. So now you've got second down for it. So the question is, how will the Browns answer? Because at the very least, at this point, it's clear to me that the Vikings are going to come away with a field goal and tie the game. But the big question on my mind is how the Browns answer, because I'm interested to see what the Vikings have done in terms of adjustments on defense. Now, this is second and 10. The Vikings are in ace formation with a run to the left, and they're gaining. Oh, looks like it's going to be a 15-yard gain. I thought the Browns would stop that, but number 27 for the Browns, Vikings, excuse me, managed to get around left end, as we would call it, a stratomatic. Mr. Mason managed to get around left end. Uh, Arguably a hold there, but not the case. They caught the Browns in a defensive formation where their defensive ends were not playing outside contain. Now Miles Garrett is on that side playing outside contain in a four-man front. This is first and goal. So they bring the wide receiver. Now Wentz rolls. This is going to be 84 catches. They catch 84. 84 caught it on a flat pass. Looked like he was headed to the green, but the Browns' defensive speed caught up to him and stopped him about the 2-yard line. It's a second down. Um, so again, the Vikings have made it quite clear that they're going to, with a mixture of ball control, passing, and rollouts. That was what we call a sprint out to the right. One of my favorite plays, by the way. So now another shotgun, up straight up the middle, touchdown. So there it is. They've taken the lead, gotten more than just a field goal out of it, and yep, there's a touchdown. And it's 13-10 with having brought it down to 11 minutes left in the third quarter. That was a great drive. Well executed. So again, how will the Browns answer? And have the Vikings figured out that, hey, you know what, Dillion Gabriel is not really a great pure passer downfield, so we can pressure him and shut off the run and force them to pass. Let's see if they try to do that. All right. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark NFL News by Zenny62.com. See ya.